and I are going to have a little slideshow tonight, and we thought that maybe we'd make a Christmas present for everybody and put all the slides, or as many as we can get, on tape for you guys. I see Barb's also got some old pictures out. We're going to try that. I don't know how this is going to come out. There certainly won't be anything on the cutting room floor. We don't have a cutting room. There won't, we'll show the slides just like they're in there. If your dad put them in upside down, whatever, we'll show them upside down. What the heck, we might as well make this as real as possible. I think the slides start about 1965. It seems like at the same time that your folks gave us a little movie camera, they also bought the slide projector the same year. I'm not sure that. There may be some that go back before that, but I remember that Craig was just a little bitty baby at the time, and I think they bought the slide projector, their first slide projector, the same year. So certainly it won't be professional, but maybe we'll have some fun. We'll try to put a little music on it. You can turn it down if you want to. I think we're going to just have to use the radio or something. We don't even have any tapes, good tapes. Chris has got all those at college. As you can see, it's 7:45 or so on October 20th, and hopefully maybe we can have this done by Christmas. All right, here goes. Let's give it a try.
Okay, we thought we'd start with the Barron side. As you can see here, this is Michael Barron and Lucy Barron, otherwise known as Baba and Dia. And I'm not quite sure how old they were when these pictures were taken, but these are the earliest pictures that I know that we have of them. As you can see, this is dated Mother's Day 1942, and there's Baba and Aunt Mary, and I'm not sure I recognize everyone that's in the picture, but maybe you all will. That's another picture of Baba. I don't know if we could focus that a little bit better. There, I know that this is Aunt Ann and Aunt Mary. Okay, this is John Barron. The picture is dated 1929, so this would mean Daddy was born in 1919, so this would make him about 10 years old. And to my knowledge, this is the youngest picture we have of him. Lifeguarding days, you can see he's on the end to the right, I believe. I believe this is dated 1942 also.
When did you go into service?
I'm not sure. I don't know if this would be on leave or what. And over here.
Slide it a little closer.
Are you taking?
That was 1942?
Yes, I think so.
Any more in there?
Okay, and then that's Daddy with Carrie and Josie, I believe, in 1942. Okay, and this is Daddy before he went into the service. I'm not quite sure what year it is. I imagine it would be 1940, 41. I'm just guessing at that. We can check with Mom on that. But This is the picture that Baba and Dia had in Youngstown on the, I can remember in the top bedroom on their chest of drawers for years and years. Just a different pose of the same time period.
Pull it back just a little bit. There you go. She's probably military. No, he was corporal in the military at that time. So he'd been in the Army for a while. He's wearing corporal stripes. He's in the medical corps in World War II when was in Europe and went to the Far East World Pacific Theater sometime 44, 45. He was in occupation part of
Japan.
The occupation forces, I mean. Okay, this is another picture now. That time he was a technical sergeant. He had 3 up and 1 rocker with a T in the middle. That was an old rank of the World War II era. And he's a technical sergeant. The medal you can see down there at the lower right, I think might be an occupational force, Japanese occupational force medal. I'm not sure. But obviously this was given to Hilda, because at the bottom it says "Love Always John." I'm not sure. That probably was about I'd say 1945. The latter part of 45, maybe about the time Barbara was born. Up here is your mom, Hilda. I guess she might have been, well, I don't know. That was probably when they were married, but I doubt if Barbara had been born yet.
This could have been out of Santa Barbara, California. I don't know.
Not the house. The house looks like it's here in Missouri. Well, I don't know. No, it's a house here in Missouri, because if you look right here, that's one of the flower pots, and we still have one of those, I think, downstairs here in our basement. They were Mama's flower pots. So that was in obviously in front of Mom's house, and it's about I guess 1944 or 45, somewhere in there, during the war years anyway. You can tell by the fashion and how her hair is fixed and everything. It's mid-40s sometime, at any rate. You can turn it, okay. Now this is their wedding picture. Good-looking couple. And that was, what year were they married, 44?
November 13th, 1944.
Okay, well that would have been probably November of 44.
John.
Then, yeah, because over here on the other page, where I'm going right now, stick with me, there's a couple of pictures of them at the Capitol, and that one is of your dad, or of your dad there, is marked 1944 at the bottom. And here's a neat one of them both together. Let me slide that in just a little bit. Well, I don't know, I think the picture's out of focus, so I can't see it too well, but there's your mom, again dated 1944. Okay, now what we're going to do is just kind of throw some individual snapshots in here. This is who now?
This is John Delmore, who immigrated from Ireland and married Lily Gatton. And I believe he was, I don't know what year they married, no. I know that he was in his 40s, and I believe she was 19 years old. And this is Mama's mother and father. Okay, now this is Frank Delmore and Della, Catherine Delmore. This is Mama and her brother Frank. And Frank died in his teenage years due to, I believe it was pneumonia. Alma is the baby, the little baby. Okay, this is a picture of Mama, Della Delmore, and the picture is dated that she is 16 or 17 years old. And she was born in 1894. Can you pan down? She was so proud of that dress, I know.
How old was she there?
I don't know. This is Della Catherine Delmore, or Phillips, they're known as Mama. I think she might have been about 19 then. And I remember her talking so much about the beautiful dress she had on, and I don't know if Bob got it or if it's been played, but the eyelet lace on the bottom she was very, very proud of. This is also Mama as a young girl, and maybe Bob can get the picture of the bicycle that she's standing beside. Okay, this is a picture of J.C. Phillips and Della Catherine Delmore Phillips's wedding picture. I don't know the year they were married. I believe their wedding anniversary is on February 12th, because it was the same day as John Barron's birthday, I believe, if I'm correct. And this, of course, is Hilda Marie Phillips, the firstborn of J.C. and Della Phillips, and our mother.
1920.
She was born in 1920. This
March,
looks,
that would have been around Christmas time, probably.
I don't know how old she was.
6 months old.
I'm not sure. And this is also a picture of Hilda Marie Phillips as she's growing up a little bit. You can see her little dress, and maybe Bob can pan down and show you her shoes.
Looks like what, she's about 2 maybe?
Could be. I don't have a date on this picture. We'll have to ask Grandma how old she was then.
You didn't plan very good for this marvelous tape you're making.
Okay, this is Frank and Lily Delmore again in their older years. Mama, mother, and father.
You don't know who the people are like?
No, I don't.
I'll show them, maybe Ron knows them or something.
I don't know.
That's probably, is that on that farm up there by the airport?
It probably is. I
That
just
farm,
don't know.
that might be that farm up by, where Columbia Regional Airport is right now.
This is J.C. Phillips, our grandfather, Mama's husband, otherwise known as Pawpaw. It looks like he's a little bit older now, listening to the radio.
Looks like he's sitting right in front of an old Philco radio. I don't know. It looks like it might have been about 1940?
I don't know. Again, I have to say I don't know.
Slide that over. There you go.
This is also Pawpaw.
There, forward, just a little bit. There. There you go.
I know Roger won't remember this man, but Ron, this I know you do. This is Uncle George, and then his wife Aunt Fanny, Pawpaw's brother, and his wife. And he's the one who was so hard of hearing. When every time we would visit him, he'd have a gourd that we would have to speak into and speak loudly. And he was a very large man. Okay, this is an infant picture of Hilda Marie Phillips. Okay, and then this is a picture of J.C. Phillips. I can, right here, I'll get my finger out of the way. And I'm not sure, that might be Uncle Bill and Uncle Reuben. I'm not sure. I did know at one time. But our grandfather is this gentleman right here. That's Mama, Papa, and Hilda.
So I can focus it just a little bit. There. Hold still. Would have been about 1922, probably. Looks like Hilda there is just about the same age as that one picture a while ago, about 2 years old.
Okay, this is John and Hilda Barron with J.C. Phillips. Looks like Daddy was home on leave, or was after he got out of the service, I don't know. Okay, on the back of this picture, Mama has written that this was a picture of Papa. He's the one on the right with the glasses, and it was taken 2 weeks before he passed away. And she's written her comment on the back of the picture that she thinks it's such a good picture of him. Also in the picture is Uncle George, his oldest brother, she's written, and then myself as a small child sitting in the little chair.
That would have been about, what year did he die?
I don't know. It was in, I think Ronnie was just a baby. I was just 2 years old, and I was born in 45. So, and
47.
okay. And then this was also in front of the rock house that Mom and Dad built that we lived in. It's, the first house that I can remember.
He died of a heart attack?
Yes. Okay. This is Hilda Marie Phillips. I don't know how old she was. It must have been shortly before she and Daddy were married, I would guess. Here's some pictures of her. We've gotten this one, I believe. This is... I don't see a date on it.
High school graduation, she went to New Bloomfield High School, who graduated probably 1937 or 8, I guess. Sure. And of course you'll hate us probably for this. Well, no, that's not bad. Nice picture.
These are different poses of first picture I showed you in this album. Pretty good looking Mama and Grandma.
No kidding.
Okay, here we have Daddy John Barron with Anita Mae Phillips. At that time, I don't believe she was married to Uncle Warren yet. Notice that 40s hairdo on that on her.
Lots of lipstick.
Don't. These are just friends, I think.
Friends of.
Well, I think
There's a
we're.
good picture of Mom now. It's got her chest and chin. Looks like she's standing in front of a 1949, no, wouldn't have been 49, about a 47 Chevy, I think. I think that's not a 47 Chevy.
And along the Unistar Radio Network Coast to Coast, you are
And right there's a picture of the church that they were married in Santa Barbara, California.
Who?
Who? Hilda and John. They got married there in 1944. Now, we visited, the Faith family visited there when I was in a school in 1974. So about 30 years after they were married there.
Okay.
And really it looked just about the same.
And I assume this man over here was the
That's
priest that married him.
Yeah, that's probably the priest that married him right there. Father whoever.
Okay.
And there's a, look, over here is a good picture of Hilda. And, yeah, there you go. Hilda and Anita, probably about 1943 or 4.
Could be 45.
Maybe 45, yeah. This is 1944. It's John and
Lily Gatton Delmore, Mama's mother.
Mama. Oh, yeah. You don't call her Granny?
Granny. And I can remember her this way. This is the way my memories. I was very young when she died, but I still have memories of her.
I don't have any idea where that's taken.
It might have been on High Street. They owned a home.
10, 12 somewhere.
Again, you can see the flower pot to the side on the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, the concrete flower pot.
There's a good picture of post-war Johnny. He was, Barb just said he was becoming a farm boy. His people came from Youngstown, Ohio. Of course, they settled there from the Ukraine. And John was first generation out of the old country. And during the Cold War years and all that kind of stuff, why they lost contact with who the family was and where they originated from, which is a shame. But it happened. I think it is. Let me see if I can get a little more forehead talk.
Okay, this is dated 1947, and we have Papa, Mama, Granny, Hilda, and John on the back row. Then the man on the front row is Uncle Warren McGee, Anita McGee, and Beverly James, who Mama and Papa took in as a foster child and raised her. And then there's myself as a baby, Barbara. That's how I would identify me. Okay, here we have Hilda and John Barron with Barbara. Looks like 1947
47.
it says on that picture. This is a good page in the album. There we have Anita and Warren McGee, Aunt Anita and Uncle Warren. And then, if we can get this focused, this is the tiniest picture I've ever seen of Ron. This is Ron Barron and Barbara Barron.
1947. Stu.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You have to scoot it back. Like somewhere. There
you
we
go.
go.
And there's Aunt Anita and Uncle Warren, and Pawpaw is standing in the back. It looks like he's holding a chicken or a rooster in his hand. Again, we're country. Okay, and right here we have Michael Barron Dia holding Ron Barron, his first grandson and the first male that will carry on the Barron name. So I know he was real proud. Now these are just friends. Is that our family? Okay, we're in front of the old Trotovic or
1950.
Mm-hmm.
Slide that in a little closer. Still closer still. Just, we'll be back on focus and everything here in a minute. All right, there's,
Yeah.
that's good.
There's Hilda and Johnny and Barbara and Ronnie.
And this is April of 1950. And here also, get that in focus. I guess that's you and Ron. I don't know who else.
I'm at the wagon, and Ron, of course, is the boy, and it's Janie, and I'm not quite sure the little blonde-haired girl's name, but they were neighbors of ours, and their last name was Trotovic, Eddie and Irene Trotovic, and they were real good friends of ours, of Mom and Dad's.
This is a picture of that rock house out on, well, they called it the highway. It's out on Old 54 up at Holt Summit, actually, across the river from Jefferson City.
And Mom and Dad built a house. Daddy,
About 1947 or 47, yeah.
Okay, this is taken in Youngstown, Ohio, when we lived there. I think we spent about 6 months out there. And this was our Christmas. And Raj, bear with us. I know you're not here yet, and you're having to look at a lot of our pictures.
1950.
Uh-huh.
And right over here, then, is 1951. Hey, Roger, getting closer. Hang in there. And Craig, you're not for a while. And Jonathan, you're sure not for a while.
Yeah. Chris and Nikki either. Or Matt and Mark and everybody.
Still getting a little older here. Get that in focus. I think that's probably the only time they ever held hands. They're probably ordered to that time. Okay, Rod, you finally make the scene. There you are. That has to be 1950, what?
Two.
Two.
I believe Roger was born.
Yeah, 19. It says 2 or 3 there at the bottom.
And Roger, Mom brought you home from the hospital, and you can see by my face I'm all speckled, and I had the chicken pox, which you contracted from me shortly after you arrived. You don't have a blob on your head. I think it's a hole in the picture. That's not very good. Let's go to this.
I've been there.
All right.
There's one down there.
Yeah, if there's one where Roger can be seen better as an input. There's probably a better one. There's Roger Michael Barron, January 16th, 1952.
Yeah, here's a real good one over here. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good one just right over here. There. And then the whole family. Right
This was on
there.
my first communion.
When that was?
Well, and from the looks of it, I would believe it was 1952 because Roger's just an infant, and it would have been in the spring. We were living at Mama's on St. Mary's Boulevard at that time while our home was being built on Westmore Drive.
It says 1952. That's the home on Westmore Drive as it's being constructed. Of course, there's houses all beside it and everything else shortly thereafter. Was that the first house on the block or something?
No, it wasn't on the first time block.
Here's another one over here. Nothing around it. Of course, the pool, and that was about as far west as you could go in Jefferson City at that time, without being out of town. In fact, that was about as far west as you could go up until the mid-60s. There's the three, October 1954. Just probably right about Barbara's birthday. You were 9 years old. And that's over at the park.
Remember how Daddy would let us bunch up a pile of leaves and we'd go jump in them, and I don't know, I have the neatest memories of that. Today we took a walk in the park too, and it reminded me of those days back then.
Here's a good one up here, September 54, with a lot of folks in it. Slide that in.
I can see the front.
Okay, that's left to right. Barbara, Ron.
There'd
Big
be
arm,
Connie.
all alike.
I believe that's Connie, Roger, and Marilyn.
Let's see if I can focus that a little better. There, that's about as good as I can do. Marilyn, and up there is Anita and Mama. Who's the other lady?
That's Mrs. McGee, Uncle Warren's mother.
I can't get the button.
Okay, this is April 1955. And Ron, this is your first communion.
You guys too.
Looks like we have sun grins.
Looks like everybody's ready for church.
This is Ron's first communion again. I'm getting to be a real chunk.
Lovably plump.
Yeah, right. Okay, and here we go on the same day, first communion day, Ron. And we have Mother in that one. I love her hat.
Ron took this one.
Okay, Raj, this is you with Mom and Dad in 1955. Looks like you have a little cowboy outfit on. There's a glare. I can sure see Shauna. Okay, here we've got Connie, Marilyn, Roger, and Patty. And looks like, of course, it's Christmas. And
Everybody's got their dolls.
Yes, and Roger, if you look down, I'm going to move this a little bit. See the big old clown down there? I remember you sleeping with that big, big fella. And you almost couldn't find you sometimes because he was in bed with you with all your stuffed animals. This is 1950.
5 or 56.
Uh-huh.
Sure, which Christmas it is. That's at Gerald's house. That's right in front of the picture window.
I think so. Okay, this is in 1956. I believe this is after Carrie and Danny's wedding. We've got Daddy, Ron, Lucille, Josie, Carrie, Danny, myself, I believe, Uncle Frank, Aunt Ann. I believe that's Roger and Aunt Stella. And Uncle Joe. Don't believe we need to say anything on this one. It has the date, and you all know the place.
That was the bath y'all took in 57.
Picture of Baba taken in Youngstown, Ohio in 1957. And here we have a picture of Dia Barron, and I believe that is Carrie's baby. It's either Danny Samodi Jr. or I don't think it would have been Frank John. I think this is little Danny.
Here's a good picture right over here of the family in Youngstown. Look like just a tad. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that has to be Danny. And here's the Youngstown crew. It's a good picture of Baba in there. And Carrie. Dale. It says Christmas, what, 1957? But Roger, I know you got that monkey when you were in the hospital with your tonsillectomy, because I remember getting it, Mom and Dad getting it for you, so. He just must have been a companion you were carrying around. There we see me holding Gail as a baby.
And Sid comes in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
That's Aunt Nita. I believe that's Aunt
the
Nita.
lady with the glasses?
Mm-hmm.
That's Nita?
I believe so.
Huh.
Here we have a picture of Baba and Dia and Daddy in 1958. I think this is a super picture. Okay, focus in. Okay, here we've got Mom, Hilda, and Aunt Stella Badowski.
That's 1958.
That's also 1958. Must have been the same visit. I also think that's a good picture of both of them. Okay.
So, what, 58 Whiteman?
This is Whiteman Air Force Base, 1958. I can just barely remember this trip. Maybe the guys can remember it better than I can. Looks like we're climbing into an aircraft of some sort. Okay, Okay, this says April 1959, which looks like Easter. Roger, you've got another stuffed animal there. Looks like it's before church or after church. Hang on to your eyeballs. Here we come. It's got a glare.
Focus it.
It's hard to remember Mom all that way now. Remember how she'd come home over every Saturday night and Mom would shampoo and roll up her hair for her, pin it up, get her ready for church the next day.
I still don't have it focused. Just wait a second, everything be cool. Yeah.
You have to pop those in the bottom of that.
Right. Well, that's the problem. We're so close here that
That's okay.
we're going to digress just for one picture here real quick. Barb just found this when it fell out of one of the albums, and we thought it'd be worth showing.
That's Aunt Mary and Uncle Pete Soroka, and then Johnny and Hilda were the first couple, Baron, that you saw. And it's in a folder. It says Blue Crystal Nightclub. So this must have been, it's Girard, Ohio. So it must have been some night. I don't have a year on it though.
It is probably about right after your dad got back from the service, probably. It looks like your mom there has on something that he might have gotten her in Japan. I'm not sure.
Or a very just brocade dress. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I don't know. Cut it off. Good picture.
Yeah. Okay, this is also a picture that just random. The short. This was a play that they put on at Union Hill. It's marked 1949 on the back of the picture. And Daddy was the groom. He is the short man there with the mustache and a bow tie. And Uncle Warren is the lady that you see, the tall person dressed. And I can't think, I think it was Kenneth Meinhardt held a gun to Daddy's back because Uncle Warren was supposedly pregnant. And Daddy was going to have to marry her. And I screamed all the way through this play because I thought someone was going to really shoot our Daddy. And I think they had to end up taking me out. But it was, a comical thing. And I thought it was just kind of cute. It's a memory that I can well remember. Can you focus to you?
It's another random one that we just happened to find of Baba and Dia.
I don't know what year this is.
Probably again about 1949, 48, somewhere around in there, I would imagine.
Just thought it was a good picture of them.
Okay, to end the picture part of this little album that we're doing tonight, what we'd like to do is just show kind of a baby picture and then a high school graduation picture of each of the three kids. This is Barbara.
It says here I'm 7 months old, 1946.
7 months, 1946. You good looking gal. This is when she's 2.5 years old. It's in May of 1948. Okay,
this is my first communion picture in 1952. And Mom made the my first communion dress out of some silk that Daddy brought from Japan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Are we on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 8 years old, 1954, and I got one of my perms, Mom.
You might explain what that means.
Well, it seemed like every year before I had a school picture taken, it just, the timing or whatever, I always seemed to get a permanent, and I always was very kinky on my school pictures. The bad and the ugly and the fat. 1955. Oh! So,
58.
okay. Big snowman that we built. We were so proud of it. We used a full-size bedspread of Mom's for the skirt. I know that's Annie Thomas, myself, and I'm not sure, is that Linda Lawson maybe, Ron? This was my 8th grade graduation, probably about
May
1950.
of 1959.
1959, okay, from St. Peter's. Okay, this was my first homecoming dance. I was 14 years old. It's blurred. I can remember I did not buy my homecoming dress. I borrowed it from Marianne Miller, who was just a real sweet girl that lived in back of us. And it was, I think it was an aqua color.
This is 1960 homecoming. And I think this was probably about 61. Let me focus it just a minute. There's that big ring she's got around her neck that belonged to a guy named Tom for people in the future. Long before my time.
Okay, this was my graduation, 1963. Monsignor Vogelwhite is giving me my diploma. You can see Brother James in the background, Ron, and I can't remember the brother next to him, but I know you'd know him.
This is a high school graduation picture.
1963. Okay, here we have Ronald James Barron. His first birthday, 1949. This is also Ron on his first birthday. Might mention he was our leap year baby, born February 29th. Okay, Ron, this is you in 1953.
There, I believe we can get the first grade picture there. 6 years old, September of 54. And just to sweeten it a little bit, there's your first picture ID. See if I can focus that a little bit better. Yeah. Ronald Barron. Okay, we got 3 here in a row. 1956. 1957, once I focus it in. Oh no, we don't have 3 in a row. The other one is the same. By the way, here's your class, Ron. Back in those days. Scoot it back just a little bit. We just kind of scan over these folks. You probably remember some of them.
I see Stevie Lampy. Carter, is it John Carter? Billy Barnhouse. Steve Dooley. Here we have you at 1960, Ron.
Ron, I think this was 1961. It's the same pictures Barbara had a while ago, and I think that was 1961. Were you going to stay with Tom in 61?
I don't know. No, I think that's 62.
And then over here, I guess that's about the same year. Or is that graduation? I don't know. We got another picture here that we want to show you, and
It says down here.
want to be sure and get on this tape. Not yet. It's just
1962 at McGee's is what Mom has written. And 1965 was these are your student pictures.
oops. Hey, I just showed that just to show you all how long we've been working on this thing tonight and having a ball, really. Wanted to show you. Straighten it up. That was probably taken for the paper or something. I'm sure you remember it.
Or the yearbook.
I got to see you play ball a few times myself. That was about the time I was coming into the picture, I guess. And of course, this is your graduation picture.
Awful close when you're timing.
Okay, Roger, your turn. This is 1950.